I'm Rob Sarney, and you're listening to What the Heck Fintech, where you'll experience and learn that Fintech is FinLife. Let's get started. Welcome back to Part 2 with Crebit with Simmi and Jensen. If you didn't hear Part 1, please go back and listen to it to hear the very cool and interesting journey that Simmi and Jensen had together to create Crebit and how they are changing payments for international students across the globe. Let's get started. How about partners? Like who are you partnering with right now? Is it banks? What kind of financial institutions? What are the challenges with that too? I'd love to hear. Where are you now, and where do you want to be in the future on that whole partnering with financial institutions, on all the great flow, business flow that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so we're partnering with a couple of different credit unions. We're partnering with college credit unions that work with the many universities. And the reason why is because what we learned through the hundreds of student interviews we did with international students is that oftentimes their first banking partner or the first people that they go to bank with is their college credit union. So we realized that it could be really strategic and also helpful for students if there's a method at their college credit union to do foreign exchange. Oftentimes today, a lot of college credit unions, they currently don't have a service. They don't offer that service to their international student members. And Crebit could be a great white labeled solution for them to help them transfer money for personal expenses, but also for their college tuition bill. In addition to that, we've also started working with other enterprises, including a textile factory in Brazil doing several $1 million annually in foreign exchange. We're working with a Colombian coffee exporter. So really, we are working with a handful of different enterprises from the credit union and community banking side to also importers and exporters. I guess one challenge that we've been facing when it comes to working with sometimes these factories and exporters is that oftentimes they want to lock in their quotes for 30 to 60 days. So as a result, we would have to do some foreign exchange hedging, which currently we're developing that model. And on the credit union side, really what we've been working very diligently is getting the proper insurance, the LISOC 2 compliance, other licensing we need. But we're almost done with that process, and we'll have a good foundation, for next year to start working with many more credit unions.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. So yeah, I love that. So I know you do a lot of events, right? And I see it on once in a while on LinkedIn, and when I go to your webpage, right? So what kind of events do you run? What are they like, and who usually attends? It looks like a party. I'm like, but by the way, I once in a while I think I saw a barbecue in there. I love my barbecue. So if you're in the area, invite me. I like my barbecue. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Simmi.
Oh. Yeah, so we host a bunch of events, and we've done it at over 25 different universities. And the reason why we do these events is to build trust. Trust is the biggest currency in any fintech. For us, we want to build a close trust and also a close relationship with the international students and our users. And also, so for example, we host many dinners. This is not only a great way for people to try out our platform and for us to get live feedback, but also for them to build trust with Crebit. The best way to connect with people is over food. So that's why we love hosting barbecues, informational workshops. Like we did go to Hult University and we hosted had a presentation on our entrepreneurial journey in addition to talking about Crebit. So we just that's how we're trying to build trust. Another thing that we did launch is a Crebit College Ambassador Program. So we have a Crebit interns that are at several different universities. These are international students that are well connected in their communities. And what they've been doing is promoting Crebit to their communities, helping us get users. And especially for larger bills like tuition payments, it really goes a long way when your friend says like, hey, I've used Crebit, you should try it out. And you can save several $1,000s on your tuition bill.
Yeah, wow. And Jensen, were you going to add to that?
Yeah, it's really helpful that, we're working in the space, but we're also college students. We understand this group better than someone else who might be older trying to work in a similar space. We understand that to be able to do an info session, we might have to sponsor a fun event like a Brazilian barbecue for the Brazilian Student Association. And we really know how to incorporate fun into our branding and advertising. We know what college students would want. Like, we know that it takes free food to get us to an event. So we know how to be able to supply that for students so they're ready to eat Cane's chicken while learning about Crebit.
Yeah, no, free food. That works for 60-year-olds too. Just want to let you know, right? I love if any Brazilian barbecue, that's like the best. They walk around with the big things of meat. You flip over your card or something, and they're slicing meat right on you. Like, it was awesome. My wife doesn't love it, but I loved my buddies and I love that Brazilian barbecue stuff, by the way. Wow, that's very cool. So let's see here. I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire questions. Are you guys ready? And I don't want you to spend, and how about this? Well, just so, because it's so quick, how about, and you guys can switch it up if you want, but how about Simmi, you go first, and Jensen, you go second when I ask the question. That way, it says, and 10, 15 seconds tops, but if you go over, don't worry, I won't beat you up, right? So I'm going to pull out my notes because it's rapid fire. So I'm going to surprise you with something. These aren't that hard, I'm telling you right now. So what's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food, I really like, I like Indian food, so I like chicken biryani. It's just like basically chicken and rice and a lot of nice spices.
Now, have you been to India and many times?
Yes, I have been to India, and like most of my family still lives in India as well.
Nice. Yeah, I've been to India probably 10 times because of Fidelity traveling there, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, no, it's a haul to get over there. But once you're there, it's awesome. I love it. Great food. I love the food. Jensen, what's your gut reaction? Favorite food?
Sushi, avocado toast, and picanha. It's a meat from our Brazilian events. They cook it on the grill. It's so good. Oh my goodness. I love it now.
So you that wasn't your favorite growing up, but it was just recently as you're hitting these great events you're putting on. Is that?
Yes. And they even have a special cheese that you can grill and then you put honey on it. And oh my goodness, my favorite foods are evolving.
Really? Wow. Yeah, it will. Your whole life, right? I'm a canary in coal mine. I eat anything. So that's awesome. So let's see here. How about favorite sport to watch or play? It's okay if you say I don't play sports. It's fine if you say that.
I don't play sports, but for me, I don't know if this is a sport. I really like running when I get a chance. I like long distance running, but my favorite sport, I guess, to watch, I'm excited for the World Cup. So soccer's a good sport.
Nice. So what's your father's race or run you've done?
Oh, I probably, this was during the summer. I probably did like maybe 13 or 14 miles.
Nice. You gonna get up to a marathon someday or no?
That was my goal. I was actually trying to do a half a marathon, but I still have yet to do that. That's on my bucket list.
Okay, you got plenty of time. Pace yourself. No pun intended. Jensen, what's your reaction to favorite sport, watch or play?
Yeah, I was the team captain and MVP of the varsity badminton team in my high school. A huge badminton fan. Sadly, at MIT, we actually are the #1 ranked badminton school in the nation, so I couldn't play on the MIT badminton team. They're just too elite for me there. MIT is not really known for its athletics, but badminton, that it's known for. I also do like to run. I do like 10Ks and 5Ks and do little races around my community. Simmi, though, it's crazy. I'm just talking, how did it go? Oh, I ran 6 miles today. And she's just so casual about it. Very impressive.
Yeah, do it while you can. Again, when you turn my age, it gets a little harder, right? All the joints are a little stiffer, and they stay that way. That's all. Yeah, no, well, MIT's D3 for Division 3 for a lot of athletic sports. They actually play against WPI.
Yes,
they're in the same conference, so I see a lot of MIT games going on.
Badminton's unique because it's not divisional. So you actually don't compete against those people in your division. So it actually can be the #1 school in badminton.
Oh, right. Almost like a club sport where you can play big, you can play big places. Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's an Olympic sport, right? Isn't it? I think
Indeed, it is an Olympic sport. I'm a proud badmintoner.
Nice. Wow. Do you like pickleball?
I like pickleball, just not the same level of joy as badminton. Like badminton, is fun. Pickleball, it's
Joy.
good. You know, I like the name, pickle themed, but it's just not the same.
I don't know if
What's
I've
your what's your favorite sport, Rob?
Oh, I'm basketball all the way. You know, I played it. I played it in college. I'm a basketball referee. I still play pickup when my old legs let me. I just reffed a game last night. Got a game this Friday. So yeah, it's all about hoops. But I was baseball, and I love football too. So obviously Boston sports fan all the way. I don't look any other place than Boston. If my team's not in it, I don't care. So that's my Boston attitude. How about this? What hobby? I think I might be able to figure out some of them, but surprise me. You might. What are your hobbies?
Well, for me, one hobby I had, so I used to do like Rubik's Cube competitions, and I would like so I can solve like any type of Rubik's Cube from like a 2x2 to a 7x7. And I would go to like different competitions. And also like one thing that like through actually doing Rubik's Cube competitions, what you notice is that there's maybe like 200 people and like 2 girls. Like you do notice that there's not many other like other girls like doing, even like something like a Rubik's Cube competition. So that's like one thing that I, started thinking about and I want to do in the future as well is like help empower more women to like, be in tech, try even something like Rubik's Cube competitions, right?
Right.
But yeah, I would do, there's also different types of Rubik's Cube. So there's like a pyramid shaped Rubik's Cube as well. Like, so there's different types of shapes that I can solve as well. But that was like what I got into in COVID. Basically in COVID, there's like not much to do. And I would just watch a lot of Rubik's Cube videos and that's how I got into it.
So
Wow.
it's true that there's a 1x1 Rubik's Cube. My friend did cubing competitions. He was always like, yeah, I'm going to win with the 1x1. Is this true?
There is, but like you can't.
Exactly. You can't solve it. It's just, it's cube.
It's already solved. Like there's
Yeah. That's like a trick question, isn't it? Oh, when
I don't know. Apparently there's a competition. They timed it with how fast he could flip it over to put the white on top. I thought he was pulling my leg.
Yeah, I think he is. He's got to be. I don't know. But Jensen, what hobby? What are you thinking?
It's a good question. I guess, well, look, the hackathons I do, like, they are my hobby. Like, those kind of make my life. Doing those competitions. I love to go for a good walk. I love indie animation and big fan of anime as well. I recently watched Chainsaw Man. That was great.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, I mean, I consider refereeing my hobby. So it can overlap with many things. Your hobby. How about a fun fact about you that no one really knows? Tough one, I know. And you can say pass if you don't want to do it.
Mm.
I got one if you're stuck, Simmi.
Yeah, wait, let me think about it. Jensen, you go.
I love to rap. I love rapping to my favorite songs. Like, that's also a hobby. Like, it's really funny because of how often, like, I get the random opportunity. Like, when I was interviewing for scholarships, a lot of my essays were about rapping, like, at least one of them. And they're like, go, rap right now. And it's just like, me rapping my favorite songs. So that's always fun that I can do that.
Well, I'm a product of the 80s. What type of rap? There's all different rhythms. Like the 80s rap, that's a different rhythm than the kind of rap that happens today. Like what's your favorite genre in rap?
I'm a big Eminem and Dr. Dre fan. Their stuff's really good. I do like some of the modern ones. I like Ludacris. He's pretty good. But Eminem for life. I'm a stan.
Yeah. So I'm like a Run DMC guy. You know what I mean? I like that type of. There you go. Simmi, a little time to think now. You locked and loaded?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, a fun fact, like, I'm just gonna keep it, I guess, music themed as well. I really love listening to a Spanish music. Like, I spend actually a lot of time listening to reggaeton. And the reason why was because in high school I was studying for AP Spanish, and I was just trying to, immerse myself in the language and better remember some of the words. So that's how I got into listening to Spanish music. And like some of my top artists are Bad Bunny, Rauw Alejandro. So I really like reggaeton.
Well, Bad Bunny is like the biggest artist in the world now. Is it? I have that right? Okay, I just know from osmosis from my children that are 30 and 27.
Yeah, I went to his concert as well, and he's gonna be performing at the Super Bowl. So
right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, goes hand in glove, right? Well, how about this? When you were 8 years old, what did you want to be?
When I was 8 years old, I wanted to work at Google X. It was so no longer have it, but what Google X was like this lab where they would just work on any project. So they would do the self-driving cars, or they would work on Google Glasses. And I just thought that was really cool that you could work on like really like just interesting and creative and like kind of like weird like solutions. Like, these are like really cool to like a self-driving car. So I was like very interested in like kind of doing interesting creations. I wanted to be an inventor that like creates something new. That's something I was interested in. And I also really liked at Google, they had like I toured their office and they had like a fun like playground, and they had like a ball court and everything. So it just seemed really like a fun environment. When I was 8 years old, I was like watching those campus tours as well.
Wow, that's cool. So my little Google story is my son won. It was in the for the region, the Doodle for Google when he was
Oh, wow.
12. When he was 12, so we got to go to New York, and they had the whole event, and we went there, and it was just so cool to see what they do in the doodlers and or the and every. So it was, and obviously that now he does graphic novels. He writes graphic novels. So it shows how that like totally spurred him on. He's written he's got a small novel. It's going to be published soon, and he's got a bigger novel that's like 400 pages that hasn't published.
I love Calvin and Hobbes. I used to read a lot of their comics as well.
Yeah. And they had artists there at the event, at the big national event, when they picked he didn't win the actual United States one, but the one that you see online, but he was there, the regional New England winner that he got for, and representing 12
Wow.
sixth graders. Yeah. Jensen, what are you thinking?
I wish I could say it was more technically focused. I wanted to be a Power Ranger, okay? Especially the blue or the red one, the color mattered. It did. And I did actually start robotics later that year in like second grade when I was 8, though. So then I finally got like introduced to STEM. Before then, I didn't even consider like what a STEM field was. It just wasn't really brought up in my life.
You still have time to be a superhero. Wear the costume. Just do it. That could be, have a Crebit green one. You can be a Power Ranger for Crebit.
I studied electrical engineering in college, so I studied Power Ranger. So a joke. And my whole life, my brothers were always like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Power Ranger college." They made up like a whole elaborate thing that my stuffed animal got into Power Ranger college, but I couldn't. So my stuffed animal was training to be a Power Ranger, and every day they brought this up.
That's awesome. That's great. I love that. Okay, here's the last one. Okay, career-wise, where do you see yourself in 30 years? I mean, now that's close to my age, even a little under my age, obviously. What are you thinking? Like, what do you envision? It can be a goal. Where do you want to be?
Simi's answer on this is always the best. This is gonna be fun.
I mean, I feel, I don't know, I get so excited by life, and I feel like there's so many things we can do. And one thing that I'm interested not only in like philanthropy. So just because I've visited India so much, and I've had like a lot of different experiences, seeing like some people struggle there, and I'm like, I want to be in a position where I can really uplift and help them as well. Same thing with like my clothing brand. A lot of times the people making it, lived in like really remote villages, and hand embroidery is a dying art. That's just like something that's happening. And so what I want to do is being able to uplift some of these underserved populations, especially women as well. But even outside of philanthropy, I guess where I see myself in 30 years is, I think maybe thinking about going into like politics down the line, and working in the government potentially. So that's where you can make bigger impact as well, and make more change.
That's great. Yeah, I bet you'll do it, right? I mean, absolutely, right? After and see you get your first 100 million or more from Crebit, yeah, go do that. Do it now. You're probably going to do that next year because you guys are growing so great. Jensen, where do you see yourself 30 years from now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be a serial entrepreneur. I'm going to keep on building startups because I really enjoy it. I do love teaching, so I'm going to take a page out of your book and try to like be a teacher while also like having that professional career. Super inspiring to me. I love teaching students. Like on the weekends at MIT, I led like a free coding and electrical engineering course for low-income high schoolers where I had them build things. Like my dream would be to be that cool teacher in a high school where I'm like, okay, we're building this project and like leading a bunch of clubs. My high school, I had to like start the majority of our clubs. And I think it'd be so cool if I could like have those opportunities available to students who otherwise wouldn't have them. I'd be awesome. I've also always wanted to be a barista. I gotta say, I'd love to run my own coffee shop, but I don't know how that can align with Crebit. Maybe a Crebit coffee shop's in the books.
I've actually seen that. In New York City, they have like a Capital One coffee store, I believe.
Yes, Capital One in their actual banks now. If you're a Capital One member with the card, you can access their coffee shop and you have better deals. You get like 50% off. So it's gonna help. I'm a huge matcha fan. I love coffee. I like go to coffee shops to work and get things done. That's also my love of avocado toast. So like the dream is to run one of those and wear the nice barista schmuck. I have dreams.
Well, similar, like nothing to do with what I do. I want to own a diner. Talk sports, have your baseball hat on, making the eggs, making the bacon, right? Having, opening up just for like the morning and maybe lunch and then close it down. I came close to buying a diner and I would work at a diner for a little while to learn and feel it's really watch the flow of it before I did that. But it's still on my list. I might own a diner. So I can see that. It's like love of food and just, networking and talking sports or whatever.
Exactly. Maybe we could have a coffee shop diner. If I have the coffee counter, you get the rest of the diner. We got this. Unstop.
And I love the gift of gab. So, I'll talk it out.
It'll be great.
There we go. Awesome. So I want to say, wow. I mean, so my last thing I forgot to ask you. So what events are coming up that you want to tell our audience that you want them to show up to or to see you, and how can they get connected with both of you? Because obviously you're doing amazing things, and I bet the audience here is going to be like, wow, I got to talk to these people.
Yeah, so we raised $1.5 million from A16Z, SV Angel, Kleiner Perkins, Angel Fund, and some other great VCs. So really some events that we're doing, we're always traveling around, and we have actually our demo day for A16Z coming up early April. So we're really excited to do that in San Francisco to raise for our next round. But one way that we can get connected is through Jensen and I's LinkedIn profiles. We're very active on LinkedIn, so you can just search up our name. But also we have our emails as well. So, my email is Simmi, SIMMI, @getcrebit.com. And Jensen's email is jensen@getcrebit.com. And we can put that maybe in the description as well if needed.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Wow. Jensen, you have anything to add to that or?
No, that's the exact way you can message us. Super excited. We love it when people reach out to us, like on LinkedIn. We always set up calls to learn more. So yeah, definitely reach out. Shoot us a message.
Awesome. I want to say thank you so much, both of you. I mean, I'm glad we're going to be collaborating even in the future, with my my fintech courses. And you guys are doing amazing things. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to talk to you, learn from you, and hear your inspiring story of what you're doing. I mean, I mean this. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurial startups in the college, ranks, and you're the most mature I've ever talked with of what you talk about and how you talk about it and how you frame it and how you're going after it. I mean, you're doing amazing things. Keep up this great effort you're doing, and keep having fun. And I'll be watching you all the way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on for What the Heck FinTech, and thank you so much.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed this.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for listening to What the Heck FinTech. Make sure you tune into our next episode as we continue to interview fintech leaders and share real-world stories from across the fintech ecosystem, so you can fully understand that FinTech is FinLife.